All right, everybody. All right, everyone. Today we are going to be looking at writing, the writing part of this exercise. So you are going to need your article from yesterday that you have, all marked up and everything. Your reasons over here are filled out, and if you were able to finish the quiz yesterday, the quiz should be finished. If you did not finish the quiz yesterday, don't worry, you'll have time to finish it today, but for today's purposes, you'll need the article, your reasons sheet over here, and then you also need this third page of that packet. That's what we're going to be working on today. And also a graphic organizer that kind of looks like this. If you're not able to get the PDF file to print, it's okay if you do this on notebook paper. You can just make these four boxes here and then a line up at the top for what the prompt is and stuff like that, and then you should be good to go just like that. All right, so on with the show. Basically what today's lesson is going to be, we're going to be deconstructing this, okay? Because if you can see what each part looks like before it becomes, a piece of writing, a piece of, coherent writing for a persuasive or argumentative paper, if you can see what each piece looks like, it's going to be easier for your own writing when you start creating the pieces for a different prompt that y'all will be doing on Wednesday. Okay, so for the topic line up here, that's the topic. Okay, that's the prompt. All right, should teens be allowed to vote? That is the overarching question that you are arguing for or against. And that's usually what a prompt is for argumentative. So you write that in, should teens be allowed to vote? And it's a question, right? So now you have to do, yes or no. I am going to go with the yes option because that is what this article is about, but if you want, you can go with either side. You can go with the yes side or you can go with the no side, all right? It does not matter. Just make sure that whenever you state your opinion, you are stating your opinion as a claim that can be argued, okay? If you say something like, all people should vote, yeah, you can't exactly argue that because whenever you say all people should vote, people tend to typically think, adults. All right, yes, all people should vote, no matter race, gender, ideology, things like, yeah, all people should vote. That's not really something that can be argued. All right, should teens be allowed to vote? You can say, I believe that, the voting age should remain the same, or you can say, that I believe that the voting age should be lowered, which, if you come back to the article, that's what this article is arguing for, is to allow voting to be, the voting age to be lowered from 18. And not just it's not just saying, all teenagers should vote. It's actually going really specific about an age. So the claim is actually right here. Okay. Get the voting age lowered to 16 in local elections. All right. So that is their claim. All right. That is what they want to do. All right. I know some of y'all are thinking, but y'all said that it has to be in the first paragraph. That's not the first paragraph. Okay. Multiple paragraph introductions are for professional writers. They can do that because they've learned and mastered their craft. Like professional gamers. They've learned and mastered the craft of gaming, and so then they are professionals at it. You are probably learning how to game, so you are not professional. You have not mastered the craft of gaming. therefore you are still learning all of the bits and pieces. Same thing with the writing. You guys, you're learning all of the bits and pieces. So for y'all's purposes, typically the thesis statement or the claim statement isn't going to be in your first paragraph. But this right here is it's kind of what I would like to call it's a build-up, okay? It's a build-up story. It kind of sets the scene. It hooks the reader in using a personal experience, okay, or a anecdote. All right, and then it comes over here to kind of give, what is the problem? Okay, so this right here, what is the, and I'm writing big, so I'm going to abbreviate that, problem. What is the problem? All right. And then down here, it kind of gives the solution. All right. Solution. All right. So going off of that, what your text structure is. At least it's a problem and giving a solution, and then how they're going to go about solving that, and then now it's why should that be lowered. Okay. Those of you that did yesterday's exercise, you kind of already have your reasons for yes and no written right here. So you shouldn't have to do too much. So for this paper, you need to write your thesis statement. I believe that the voting age should be lowered to 16 years old, or something like that. Okay, and sometimes that's hyphenated. All right. I believe that the voting age should be lowered to 16 years old. That is a claim statement that has to be proven. You have to give why should it be that. Okay? That's a statement that can be argued. So that is why that format is a claim. Okay? Say you were arguing the opposite side of the issue. You would say, I believe that the voting age should remain at 18 or should not be lowered or something like that. Okay? And then your reasons, like I said, you should have your reasons for why over here. All you have to do is transfer them over. Okay? Transfer them over. You can create different sentences if there is a way that you want to reword that. Reword the reason. You can write that here. Okay? So your reasons. Well, I'm not going to write that there. You can just say, transfer the reasons over here. All right. Evidence or examples. If you have a personal example or a piece of evidence that is not given in the article, you could give that here. Or you can just go back to what evidence or examples they were given in the book. So one piece of evidence was Cammie's story. All right. And then another piece of evidence was the Tacoma Park local elections. And ironically enough, that's also what they used for their counter argument or their counterclaim. You might argue that, I'm going to write a line here so that I can keep my thoughts separated since I write big. You might argue that teens do not care and will not show up. But, you know, and then they gave the evidence and example of the Tacoma Park, Maryland local elections, and how 16 and 17-year-olds are the largest voting group than any other age group for that area. Okay. 16, 17-year-old vote more than, you know, ... any other age group in, you know, the Tacoma Park. All right. I didn't want to run out of room, so that's why I kind of cut all that off. All right. So that's how I have deconstructed the article. And then, you know, you don't have to write here. You can come over here. Whee! There we go. All right. Come over to this and start making your complete sentences. Okay? Your claim, it's you write a sentence stating whether you think 16-year-olds should be allowed to vote. Okay? Well, you've got a sentence started over here, so just write that in here. All right? Reason number 1. Okay? What's your reason number 1? And write a complete sentence. Okay? Write a sentence, it has to be complete. If you do not write incomplete sentences on this, there are going to be points taken off. Okay? Because that is what it's asking for. It's asking you for a full sentence. Okay? So you're going to have your 3 sentences with, you know, or evidence to support your claim. And then you have your conclusion. That's just a restatement of the claim. You know, that is why we should have the voting age lowered, or that is why it is more beneficial to keep the voting age the same, or something like that. Okay, it is not copying. Okay, you are restating. All right, do not copy the claim statement. All right, do not copy. All right, do not copy the claim statement for your conclusion. If I look on here, and if we look on here and we see that your claim statement and your conclusion are the exact same, you're gonna get this wrong. Okay, you're gonna get this piece wrong. All right. So that is what y'all are doing today. You're basically deconstructing the article based on what you believe your, you know, whether it's for or, that was all mushed together, or against. All right. You're either for it or you're against it. You're writing your claim, okay? You have your 3 reasons in a sentence, in your sentences, and then, you know, use your evidence to help with your reasons and stuff like that. And then do your conclusion sentence. If you have a 3rd reason that is not very strong, remember, this is a counterclaim, okay? Counterclaim. And then this is the turn back. Turn back. All right, the evidence that refutes this, or the evidence that proves this wrong, okay? So if your third reason, or you didn't come up with a third reason, you can always use a counterclaim, all right, for your third sentence over here. That would be fine also. Counterclaim is part of an argument. Okay, so I hope this kind of helps you with your sentences, and then of course whenever you write a paragraph there's a different formatting for that, but we'll get to that in another lesson. We just need to make sure that y'all understand what all of the pieces look like. It's kind of like a puzzle. If you know what all of the pieces look like and then how they fit together, you will be able to create your own argumentative paragraph here on Wednesday when we give you a prompt. Okay? So if you have any questions, please feel free to contact your ELA teacher through Schoology or through emails and ask your questions. We can get back to you as soon as possible. There is a turn-in link for both the graphic organizer and for the write a paragraph paper. Sorry, drew a blank there for a second. And you will need to turn those in to get credit. All right. Good luck. I hope to see some great stuff from you guys, and have a good one.